Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Coldus back again with another logic tutorial, and today, by request of a watcher, or a viewer, a watcher in the water, we've had requests for mantling, so I will be covering the subject today. And for those of you who don't know, which are probably a small contingent, mantling is basically just, you know, jumping over an object, I suppose, or grabbing it and, you know, parkouring your way over it. I'm not really sure what else to describe it as. It's mantling. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be covering today. Now, a lot of times when you mantle over an object, it's not very high. It's like fence height. So I'm going to be going with that. Let's put it in front of our puppet here. And we're going to need some things inside our puppet. Real quick, let's go ahead and put those things down. We call this mantle. And we're going to take out a little teleporter, which will reassure that we're in the right position when mantling with the object. You might want to make the object a little bit shorter and maybe just dupe it out if necessary, but basically we'll call this player P, which stands for player place. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit to about here. The puppet's center of mass, if you will. We're also going to duplicate this. Make it white. Don't really need to turn off the luminoise, but I'm going to do it. Group them together. Copy. Pull it out to about here. Pull this one out to about there. Labeling won't be necessary, but we will be making them invisible. Leave the physics where they are. I think that should work just fine. Now place a microchip over top of the group. Mantle. Not even sure if that's how you spell mantle, but it doesn't really matter. What we're focusing on is the hard details. To start with, player P, player P. We're going to move this one over here. I suppose, though, let's get a good idea of where the puppet's facing first. You want Z facing toward the actual obstacle. And you want this at a reasonable height. And we're going to test out the other one real quick. Actually, what we could do is just copy this out, turn it around, and then use precise move to alter the position. But that should do nicely. We'll need a little animation for our mantling. We'll use an action recorder. Better take it off the timeline though. Now, as for the quality of this animation, I'm not really going to be taking too much time with it because we're working more on the logical aspects rather than the visuals. But I'm pretty sure if you're halfway decent with animations, you could come up with something, you know, something pretty good. Also going to lower the speed a bit because it's going to be happening pretty fast if we're doing it properly. I think I might go back and do this slightly different. And then just put them on the other side. Okay, that should do it. And we're also going to have a keyframe set to linear blend. And what it's going to do is just pull this backwards so that he goes over and then it shuts off. We're also going to have this on the timeline, so that it's only active during this special phase. Another thing we're going to do is we'll need to turn off his procedural animations. Pull this out here. There we go, procedurals are off, so make it grey as is always customary. That's more natural looking, I think, stretching out the keyframe. And we'll just have a node hooked up to our timeline as usual, set to play once. Not gate. If you've been watching our videos, this is very familiar by now. Add a switch to prevent playback, and maybe a little cooldown time, so that you're not vaulting too much. And add a trigger zone, which will detect player P. It's basically the range in which we can expect to interact with it. Make it a little wider on each side, just in case. Roughly the distance of the object. That should work nicely. And then we'll hook up triangle. That'll be our vaulting button. You could really use any button now. Anything in the controller sensor is viable. But for the sake of this, we're using triangle. And there's going to be a situation where how do we stop him from, you know, mantling to the other side? Well, I'll explain that in due course. But first, we're going to need these. I should say, we're going to need 2 nodes connected to A and B. And 1 action recorder to turn them off. Because we're thinking of having these selectable so that when you're on one side of the object, it selects the proper tag, you know, depending on which side you're on. So that's what this is all about, in case you're interested. I just want it to be that way, so that the player won't get mixed up, you know, between the 2 tags. And these both connect. I guess we'll also probably need a node for this as well, in order to prevent playback and jitteriness. Should do nicely. Alright. Alright. Now we'll put this on here. Let's see how long this is, roughly. Okay, that's about 1.5 bars, so pull this back around here. Timing-wise, this is probably more accurate. And to trigger which side, you know, is activated, we're going to put these little little chip. Don't necessarily have to have it right side up, but it looks nice. And inside here, unless the player is flying, of course, which I don't really expect that to be the case, the impact sensor should do nicely. We'll set it to full strength, because no point in undershooting it. And we'll just copy it out and put it on the other one here. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to save on zones. You could potentially use 2 trigger zones set to detect friend on either side as well. I just find this is a little bit more thermo-effective. Alright, hopefully this all works out correctly. Alright, what could be going wrong here? Oh, set to sustain, that's what's going wrong. Something still not operating as intended. Player P? Did we mislabel? Oh, this is not connected. How very silly. Yeah, there you go. That's vaulting over an object. We'll try it running, just so it's a little bit more, you know, frantic, like you're escaping from a creature or something. And that's vaulting over an object. As said before, if you're hovering, this might be a bad idea, but it probably will still work pretty good, as long as you have the jump ability, you know, somewhat. Oh, one thing you could do, if you want to prevent them from doing it while jumping, just make this a little higher up. Let's see. Yes. That way it won't trigger, you know, because you'll be above the point of interaction. Let's try it with it higher up. Yeah, you can't really vault over it when you're doing that. In most games where they let you vault, there isn't really a jump button anyway, so you could just turn off jump and then that won't be a problem. But just so long as you're interacting with the floor, it should work properly. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful. Here are the names of all of our lovely cult supporters. Many thanks to all of you. If you'd like to get your name in those credits, check the link in the description and head over to our Ko-fi. You can become a cultist neophyte to become credited at the end of our video, or you can become an acolyte to gain early access to videos in addition to credit. Now, if you aren't in the mood for membership, you can always leave a one-time tip. If you enjoyed this video and are not already subscribed, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. And maybe give us a quick like, both options are free. Also, don't forget to ring the notification bell so you will always be notified when new videos come out. If you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section. Or if you just want to let out your pent-up rage, give us some smack talk. Until next time, goodbye.